Hello, everybody. I'm Thomas, and welcome to another Solo Gaming Sunday. This week, Turing Machine Edition. So normally for these Solo Gaming Sundays, I try to play a couple of games and have a theme, but I really just wanted to play this game this week because I'm very excited to play this. So Turing Machine is this really cool game. It's a deduction game made by Scorpion Mask, and it's published, I think, by Hachette. I think it's the publisher, or they're both involved in the making of this game. But I went to Gen Con recently, and it was my first time. Very fun experience, and that's where I picked up this game, because this was a very hot game there. And it's this deduction game in which you have these punch cards, and you're trying to guess a 3-digit combination. So what you're doing is you're making your own set of 3 digits to test, and then you have these different verifier cards in the center that test different criteria, and then based off that, you try to deduce what the code is. So this game, I really liked the theme of it. I liked the concept of it, so I was really excited to pick this up, and I luckily got a copy. I had to rush to the booth one morning to get it, but I got one. And yeah, when I actually got there, I figured out that there's also a solo mode. They have a website which you could play it solo, which I was all for. So I was like, well, now I got to do one of these streams. So here I am, and let's just kind of jump into it. So I'll set up everything and explain how the solo mode works. So we'll get everything kind of out. So I don't know if I mentioned, it is to use the solo mode, it is a website. Normally, when you're playing this, it's a competitive game. So you can play, I guess, up to 4 people. And it's basically a race to see who can guess the code first. When you're playing solo, I'm going to use my iPad for this. This little sticker there, this website is under construction. Like, they just changed it a day or two ago for how the solo mode works. So it kind of threw me off. But they have all these things. They have a daily challenge. Did they add a solo daily challenge? Oh, they did add a solo daily challenge. Well, that's new. That's cool. I didn't even know that. But normally is they have the custom game here, and you can choose solo. And then what's really nice is they have all the different difficulties, and you can choose the duration, so like the number of the verifier cards, which is pretty neat. I love having scalable difficulties and whatnot, and this baked right into the site, I think is pretty sweet. So I'm going to be doing kind of a gauntlet style thing today, where I'm going to go standard, I'm going to go try to beat 4, and then once I do that, I'll beat 5 and 6, and then I'll try to go to hard 4, 5, and 6. So I'm just going to try to run through them all and just play a good handful of rounds with this. So I'm gonna start with standard 4, click generate, and then what the website does is spits out for this robot in the center for the 4 verifier cards. So for A, B, C, and D, I gotta get these cards for the actual questions, and then these cards for the outer part to actually test it. And then I'll actually explain what that means. So let me set this up real fast. It'll take like not terribly long. And then I'll kind of go over what some of the cards mean and how this whole thing works. I need to make sure not to put the wrong cards, because that will screw everything up. And I've done that before, where I played a whole round and I got to the end and I was like, wait, how is that the answer? And it was because I placed a card down wrong. I've only got to play this game a handful of times so far, maybe like 5 to 10. I played a couple times at Gen Con. I demoed it once and then played it a couple times after I bought it with some people that I met, which was a really good time. And yeah, I've played this solo mode some. I'm not the best at it, but we'll see how this goes. So let me make sure I get these cards in the right order. So we got 782, that one goes here. 293, there it is. Throw that one there. 525. And then we got 741, that's way at the end here. And it takes a second to set up and tear down, but because it's so modular, that's just kind of the nature of it. And I don't mind. I mean, I think this is a pretty cool game, and compared to most games, that was like a minute or two to set up. So how this works is I have my little like standee here with numbers 1 through 5. That's kind of my range. And I have this little pad of paper down here that I'll be like marking stuff off of, writing my guesses down, doing all of that. Normally this comes with just a pad of paper and use a pencil. I went ahead and laminated a copy for myself, so I'll be using like a dry erase marker just so I don't have to use a bunch of pieces of paper for me going through all of this tonight. But the gist of it is, yeah, let me grab some cards real quick. So let me actually explain some of the verifiers. So you can see each of these, they have different things written on them. So like this card verifies the number of 3s in the code. So you can kind of think of each verifier knows one true fact about whatever the real code is. And so this one, if I give it the code 123, I'll just do it real quick as a test. But normally, so you take 1, 2, 3, and when you line them, these are like, they have all these weird outlines on them, but you put them all together and you get kind of this, they line up. Well, there we go. And you have normally just like one square. And then what you do is you'd say number of 3s, you put this behind it, and it shows a check mark. So I know, okay, this code, whatever the right code is, only has 1 3 in it. And boom, we're on our way. I guess I did that as the starting code, so I'll probably just commit with that answer. So let me actually write that down on my little pad over here. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. I tested A and it passed. So we know there is only 1 3. My handwriting is not the best, and writing with a little dry erase marker doesn't help. So sorry about that. But how this will work is, I didn't explain fully with the solo mode. When you play the game, let me go back to my overhead cam. When you play the game normally, you just keep going. You have each round, when you have a code, you can make up to 3 guesses with these. You don't have to make 3 guesses, but you can make up to 3 guesses. Then once you're satisfied with that, everybody kind of sees, okay, do you think you have an answer? And I think you only get 1 shot to guess. And if anybody does, they can guess and try to win. If not, game keeps going. How it works against the machine is, and they just changed it a little bit, but more or less I give it's like the same aspect pretty much. I'll see if I got the code right. And then if I did, the machine also has a number of questions it got it in. I have to see if I can get the code in less amount of questions than it does, if that makes sense. I just have to get the code quicker than the machine can, and I win. So I started off with this code 1, 2, 3. I tested A, and that came up check mark. So that means I know there's only 1 3, not 0, and there's not 2 3s. There's a 1 3. I could do up to 2 more tests this first time. There's only 1 3. I doubt there would be any number that repeats itself. There could be other numbers that repeat themselves. So there still could be like, it could be like 1 3 1 or 1 1 3. So maybe I will test D and see what that comes back. So we kind of get this all lined up, and you see once it's all lined up, maybe a little bit hard to see, but there's a nice X there. So that means there is repetition, because mine has no repetition, and that came up false. And that's interesting, because we just got told with this one that there is only 1 3. We know there's no triple number. Well, we know there's no repetition, but if there's 1 3 exactly, that means there's no triple numbers either. So we know the final number has 2 of the same number and a 3. That's pretty good off of 2 guesses. So we know it's a double number. Double number. Okay. So then, do I want to try to figure out? I could figure out the number of even numbers in the final code, or the smallest. Both would be good to know. I think I'd like to try the smallest, because that might take me a bit longer to get the final answer too. So let's see, is blue the smallest? That is an X, so no. No, blue is not the smallest. So over here on my pad, draw a little X there, B failed. And so in the B area, I know that either this is the smallest, it's not triangle, so it's either the square or circle. I'll kind of zoom in on my little pad down there. Like I said, not the best handwriting, but what's nice is they have a little space for you to write notes. And yeah, so that's the end of the first round. Let me put my code away and see if there's anything I can figure out. I don't really think, so I know there's 1 3. I don't know the smallest, but I know there's a double. There's not too much I can deduce off of that, because I still need to figure out what's the smallest and then how many evens there are. There's 1 3. Okay. So I guess I want to try something like, I know this is tricky. Okay, I'll go 311 as my next code. So I take the 3, take the 1, line everything up, and then I have just the one little verifier slot. It's pretty neat. They had to have used some computer algorithm to make this whole game, which just fascinates the heck out of me. I think that's so cool. I don't know how they did it, but it's a cool little game, and I've had a lot of fun playing it so far. So, yeah. So 311. The main things I want to test are these two, because these two I don't really need to retest because I already know the answers to it. So let's see with B. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let me not. I haven't tested it yet. I don't want to make these the same. But then what? This isn't gonna be helpful, is it? Well, okay, it'll still, yeah, I'll still test it. So I line it all up, lined up, and that's a red X right there. So, see, the issue is, yeah, that was for the smallest, and I did both of these. That's kind of puts me in a weird scenario because it tests the smallest that I believe it's one number that I know, but I don't know which number. That didn't get me much info. Yeah, I really should have swapped numbers when I was making a statement about it. Whatever. I'm gonna test C. Well, you're gonna write down that B failed, but I didn't. It failed, and I didn't get any info from it, so that put me no closer. 311 passes. So that means there are no even numbers. Good to know. That'll get me far. And that's all I want to test this round. So I'm just gonna put those back. I made 2, but yeah, like I said, you don't have to make 3 guesses every round. So over to my pad here, I need to do a bit of thinking. So C passed, so there's 0 even. So I could just go ahead and cross out all those and all those. We know there's 1, 3, and then 2 other numbers. But I still don't know the order, or if the other numbers are 1s or 5s. I don't think triangle is the smallest, but I goofed up with my last code. I really didn't. Figuring out B would have really got me far. But I think they're this. If there's no smallest, does that mean it has to be 1, 3, 1, 1? I might just guess. Let me think about that, because if they're tied for the smallest. Oh wait, but we know. Oh yeah, there is a double number. There's only 1, 3. Yeah, but I don't think triangle is the smallest. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to think this through here. Without knowing the smallest, I'm gonna do 2, 1, 3, and I'm gonna test that. New code, 2, 1, 3. I need to figure out what the smallest is, and then maybe I can make a final guess. So let me write my code down. 2, 1, 3, boom. And then moment of truth. Let me go ahead and test B. And it passes. That's a check mark. So square is the smallest. Okay, so that was what B passed. I think I'm ready to make a guess, but I'm not feeling confident in my guess, or even if my guess is right, that I've beat the machine. The only thing I'm not super confident is if I know square is the smallest, and there's 1, 3, there's double numbers, then I think it has to be 5, 3, 5. 535. I think that's my final answer. We'll see if that pans out here. Because there's a double number, all of them are odd. There is a single 3, and that 3 is the smallest. I think that checks out. Let's go find out here. So back to the iPad real quick. How this works is I go click on machine, and they just changed this, but I enter then 535, and I click verification to see if it's right. It was correct. Okay, so that's step 1. I got the code right, which is fun. Now, this is why your number of guesses comes into question, because now I have to mark that off, which I used 6 guesses. So let's see, I did A, B, D, and then B, and then C, and then B again. That's kind of cool. They have the whole like round marker, and then I click submit, and the machine won. It got it in 5 questions. I got in 6. So I was 1 question off. 1 question off. That's a shame. All right, well, it's the way it is. So let me tear this down, and I'll set up another game. The one thing I've also figured out is that if you tie with the machine, it still counts as a win. So I'm gonna count that. I mean, if I tie, I'll count that as a win as well. But yeah, we'll get this all erased here and put these back. Yeah, this does take, like I said, does take a second to tear down and whatnot, but it's not too bad. 525. If anybody's hanging out live right now and wants to drop a chat, tell me what you think of this game so far. Love to hear people's thoughts. This was like, whenever I was getting ready for Gen Con, there was a lot of other YouTubers doing like videos on like, most anticipated games for Gen Con. And it seemed like it was almost always on people's lists, and normally towards the top, which I think for a good reason. It's a really cool concept, and it's fun. I like you can play it solo, and I think also with the site, you could play it then co-op as well in the same solo mode, which is pretty neat. I like it when games have modes, like multiple modes like that. I think I attended the Dice Tower Live event. I think that was one reason someone didn't, I think it was even Tom that said he didn't like board games sometimes, or one thing that turned him off was, if it has like every single mode possible, which I get sometimes, but I still like the options. So, all right, we're gonna do a new custom game, solo. Oh, come on. I might have to refresh here. Solo, standard, 4 cards. Boom, generating a new one. Which you don't really need to see. I'm just gonna set it off to the side while I set it up, and we'll see how this one goes. I'll move this up a little bit. Boom. And this game does come with some questions in the rule book, which is nice. I think there's only 20, and they're all for like the normal like game mode. Like there's no like, the machine did it in this many rounds. So it's nice that they have those options, but I really like the site that it's available, and it's still work in progress, but seems pretty nice so far from what I've used of it. Put these all out. Let's see, 785. Hop back to 331. So many cards, but so many options. So where the heck, 743? There it is. All right, so new round, new code to guess. Oh, I made that kind of crooked, didn't I? Not bad. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay. So zoom in a little bit so you can see the clues for this round. So this one just verifies if purple is odd or even. This one verifies the number of 3s in the code. This one is for the largest number. And then this one is for if a number repeats itself. So take a look at these. Number of threes, if purple is odd. So I almost want to do, I always like trying to think like which verifiers I want to try to use on the first round, and then kind of like work backwards. Like, would like to right off the bat know this one and this one, and at least maybe take a stab at this one. So maybe I'll do like 3-2-2. I don't know. That seems like a good starting guess. It's kind of sometimes hard to get a starting guess going. There definitely are ways you can make initial deductions based on just what you see by like just trying to think it through a bit. I've been browsing the Board Game Geek forums for this game pretty often, and I see there's some user by the name of Cameron, I think is their name, and they seem like really good at this game. They're talking about how they can make like all these deductions based on just looking at those cards, which yeah, you can, because there's like, I think, what, 125 total possibilities for each code, and you can just start narrowing it down based on stuff. And yeah, they seem really good at it. But yeah, I'm still getting the hang of this game, but so far I'm picking it up all right. When I was going through the first demo, it was a bit of a struggle. So, all right, 3-2-2, let's start verifying some stuff about this code and seeing how right or wrong I am. Yeah, like I said, I want to start with the purple, because that'll be good to know, and that's, so that came back an X, so we know that purple is odd. So that was a fail on that, and we know that circle is odd. Circle, purple, whatever. The next one, I do want to know if a code repeats itself, so let's see what's going on there. Got a check mark. So yes, we have some repeating digits. Specifically, I guess it is a double number. So D passed. So we know there's a double number. And then I do want to try to test the largest, because that's going to take me at least a little while to guess. So all lined up. That's an X. So we know that's the triangle is not the largest. So either largest, circle, or square, or circle. Okay. So got a good bit of info from that first round. Feel like I have some idea of what's going on here, and we'll see what I can figure out. So looking down at the pad here, and so it's nice they have like all the numbers over here, so you can just start crossing stuff off. I think I did a little bit of that last game. So you know, like, oh, I know circle is odd, so I could just get 2 and 4 out of there. Don't even have to think about them anymore. So I know there's a double number, and I still don't know what is largest yet. Once I know largest, the number of threes, Yeah, I need at least another round to start making some good guesses. So probably with the square being the largest. So maybe I'll go like 1-3-1. Maybe go. I want that 3-5-3. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of a good one, because I want to test if square is the largest while also testing if threes are the double. So 3-5-3. Yeah, that would be a good number to test. All right, let's see what 353 gets me here. I'll write that down over here real quick, just so I got everything all tracked and whatnot. So I think I would need to test, because I know A and D at this point, so I really only need to test these two, and I might have to go one more round to test some other stuff. So let's go with C first. Let's do this verifier and see what's going on. It passed. So we know that square is the largest. And now we can see what Okay. So 2 3s is the wrong number of 3s. So it's either 0 or 1. Okay. 3. Put this back. 5. 3. So B, let's see. When did I test? C passed, B failed. And because of how the game works, like each card, like each of these verifier cards is needed, and there's like no overlapping information. So I'm pretty sure I saw online that because of how it works, cards like these that say like the number of times like a number appears, like it can never be 3 3s. Like whatever this last option is of it all being that, it can't be that. That sounds right. And I think they just said they kept it in. But yeah, I'm trying to keep that in mind. So we know that square is the largest, circle is odd, and there's double numbers. But we don't know. Oh. If square is the large. Okay, hold on. Square is the largest. And there's the other numbers that are the double numbers. So square. Oh, it could be 4. Couldn't it? Yeah, I need to know the number of 3s. I was gonna say, do I though? Hold on. I need to know the number of 3s, but also, I'm a bit stumped. I guess if I know the number of 3s. The issue is that I'm running into with making some deduction is that I don't know what square is. This is tricky. I'm sorry. This is not. I'm kind of just sitting here. Well, because I know there's 2 numbers. Whatever the double numbers are, aren't square. So it's something larger number, same number. So by that logic, it's got to be either 3 blank 3 or 1 blank 1. But we know there's not 2 3s. But then how do I know what square is? Even if I could use more of these. Because I know it's the largest. Oh, maybe that's the 3. Ooh. I don't want to test this because I'm already at 5 questions asked, and I don't, that's around what the machine gets, so I don't want to push my luck. I really want to try to think this through. I think it's 1 3 1. Because I think the double numbers have to be the lower 2. I think, I haven't tested this. I don't know if it's 0 1, but I think it has to be 1 3. Because the double numbers either have to be 3 or 1s, and we know there's not 2 3s. So I think it has to be 1 3 1. And now, I think there's 1 3 because that's the only way I would know what square is. And like there's a way with these to figure out everything. Like it's, yeah, there's not like it's like you just have to take a guess. Like with the information given, you have to be able to guess the code. So like the only, besides knowing that from this one that square is the largest, the only other card out here that could tell me what square is this one. I went on this whole rant and I'm gonna make a guess and it's just gonna be wrong. I think it's 1 3 1. I think it's 131. So let me write it up here. 131. Let's just go test it. I hope I'm right. I think I'm right, but we'll see if I am. Machine 131. Moment of truth. Okay. That was the right code. Gosh, this is a good game. But let's see if I actually beat it. So A, C, and D, and then I did B and C. There's no way the machine beat me. That is the correct code. So I got the first three and the next two. They got it in 4? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I like how they added the round check marks. It wasn't like that before. Like I said, this website's a work in progress, so they're always like changing stuff, I guess. Wow. They got it in 4. Man, I was so proud of that. I figured that out. That was for nothing. Not for nothing, but still lost. All right. Well, gosh dang it. Well, all right. Well, wiping it out, we'll start it again. See, this is why I didn't start on easy, because I'm okay at I'm like almost beating it. I think like standard is where I need to be, but yeah, it's still pretty tricky. Okay, let me get these sorted out and put away. Something like that. Get these put away. Oh, what's nice is, as you can kind of see, the games don't take terribly long. Like, they take like 10, 15 minutes maybe for a normal game, which is nice because you can just play as many as you want, really, and as much as you have time for. So that is not where that one goes. Because I'm trying to talk and put cards away, but I want to just sit here in silence. Talk about Gen Con. Yeah, it was first year I went. It was a really good time. I went with my dad. We were more just kind of like figuring things out the first year, seeing kind of what's what. But it was a great time. Definitely want to go again at some point, hopefully next year. Yeah, signed up for a lot of cool events, got to demo a good handful of games. I was trying not to get too much. I mean, I got a cool, like some new dice, got this game. Only other game I got was the Cat in the Box game by Bezier. Same people who make Suburbia that I play. And yeah, got to demo that. That's really fun. I like trick-taking games. The Crew is definitely like one of my favorite games. So I really like trick-taking games. So I was really glad I got to try that and play it. So let's see here. Another custom game, solo, standard, 4, generate. There you go. Those are the codes. Let me get this all set out here. Man, this is not doing bad. I've gotten the codes so far. I'm just too slow. But yeah, Gen Con did a lot of cool events. Did some Keyforge. I love Keyforge, and that's slowly making a comeback. Got bought out by Ghostfire Gaming, I think is the name of the company. So stopped by their booth, and I also got to do a sealed tournament, which was really fun. It was my first time doing like some in-person Keyforge event, so that was a good time. I don't mean to brag, but in the sealed event, I won 3-0 and got a Fuzzy Gruen plushie, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, great time. Where is the other ones? And 257. There it is. Okay, all set up. So, see, I'll zoom in real quick, see what kind of verifiers we got going on here. So this one just verifies triangle based on 3. So if it's either equal to, greater than, or less than. This one compares yellow, or the square and the circle. Just if they're equal to or greater than or less than. This one, the sum of all the numbers, is it odd or even? It's pretty good to know. to narrow stuff down at the end. Not super helpful right off the bat. And then we got up here the sum of triangle and square compared to 6. So some kind of weird ones. These are not too weird. Once you get to some of the like, especially in the rule book, there's like 20, I said. So like once you get to like question 20, those verifiers are really weird. Yeah, the cards are just like almost like way too much info. But yeah, that's one thing I like about this game. Just so much variety and scalability, I guess. But anyway, so 3. Let's see. So I want to test A, B, and D this round. I don't really care about C at the moment. I think I want to save that towards the end. Like I said, that's going to be more... I'm not going to be able to get anything good out of that until I get some other info first. So A, B, and D. I mean, I think I want to test if it's less than. I'll test greater than. So less than 3. So I'll do 2. Whoops, that's a 3. 2. Circle. Or we'll do 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1. Yeah, that seems like a good code, because then I can test if the square is bigger than the circle, and I can also test if these two are less than 6. 2, 31. Yeah, okay. That seems like a good place to start. We'll see if it's any good or not. So, like I said, I want to test A, B, and D this round to start getting some info to work off of. So, let me center this a bit more. Okay, so you can actually see what's going on. Get this all centered up. And yeah, that failed. So, write that down. A failed. So we know that triangle is either equal to 3 or we know it's greater than 3. Good start. It's a good start. Would have preferred if that was, you know, a check mark, but it's something. So yeah, I want to test B now to see where that gets me. It's another X. So we know that either square and circle are equal to, or equal to each other, or that circle is greater. So yeah. Well, which one was that? B. So B failed as well. So let me write down for triangle. Sorry, I'm writing down over here. So for triangle, we know that it equals 3, or that it's greater than 3. And then B failed, so we know that square equals circle, or that square is less than circle. Okay. One more test this round. And yeah, I definitely want to test D. See what that gets me. Hopefully something good. It's another X. So, getting a lot of failed tests here. Not a good way to start a round. So we know that because of D, triangle plus square either equals 6 or is greater than 6. I've done my 3 tests for the round, so that's all I can really do for this round. So I put these back in the little box here that they got going on, which is pretty nice. And let's see what I can think here. I kind of just want to like get some new numbers, run it again, same 3 tests, A, B, and D again. Because I need to know this one. And then I would like to know this one. And it would be great to know that one. And then this I would need to help narrow it down in the end. I don't know if I can do this in less than... Because I'm already at 3 questions. And the machine gets it in like, for these standard rounds that I found, is like 4 to 5. Which seems kind of crazy to me, because I'm like, I feel like I mean, with 7 more or with 4 more questions, I feel like I could get it. I would ask these 3, narrow it down, and then last round ask this. But I need to do it in less. I don't have that kind of time. So let me look down at my pad. Wait. Because the one thing I was just thinking about. So we know that triangle is either equal to 3 or greater than. Great. Because we know that triangle and square together is they're going to equal 6 or be greater than 6. But we also know that it's not less than, right? So that means these 2 can go away. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. Because it could be 4 and 1. Yeah, no. I can't make that jump yet because I don't know triangle. See, I thought I could make some deduction. I want to start narrowing stuff out, but I think it's a little too soon for that. I need to start narrowing stuff down a bit more. Okay. Am I back? Okay. So 4, 1. I'm trying to think of what code I want to test. 4 to test this, to see if it's greater than. 1 to test this, and I guess 2. 412 is my code. Oh, jeez. Grabbing way too many things. 4, 1, and 2. Let me write that down and start testing away some stuff here. So first, I gotta know triangle. I gotta know. Is it okay? That's good to know. So now I can make that deduction that I was just saying. Because we know it's not greater than, so it has to be 3. So A failed, but it gave us that triangle equals 3. Which means that we know now, I could do my thing, that square cannot be 2 or 1. That is just a known thing. So is square less than circle? I don't know. I feel like I know I need to test this one to get an answer. I don't think I need to retest B. If I just test D and C, I think I could get an answer. Maybe. Because I don't want to go another round. I'm at 4 questions now. I need more info. I can't. Okay, so that one failed. Okay. Oh, wait, am I an idiot? I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have tested that. These were bad numbers to test. I already knew that. I'm not marking that down. That was a goof. I forgot. This wouldn't have given me any because this is 5. I already tested that. So instead I'll test this one. I'll just test the ones I can. So C passes. Yeah, we didn't test that. C passed. So we know that the sum is odd. Good to know, good to know. And then final question, I guess, will be for B and seeing what is that. And it comes back a check. So we know that circle is greater than square. Cool. B comes back a check. So we know circle is greater than square. So let's see if I can figure this out without having to ask another question. Because I've already asked 6, and that's a lot. Which really I don't know, maybe I'm still getting used to this game, but that feels like 6 is not that many. This machine's pretty dang good for standard, but I'm still getting used to this game, so I kind of suck. So square. So we know it's 3 blank blank. We know that as a given. Square is gonna be less than... Square is gonna be less than circle. So it has to be, circle has to be 4 or 5. Has to be. Now, if I knew D, this would be a lot easier. I would at least be able to know if it's if square is 3 or 4 or 5. Well, I don't think it can be 5 because it's smaller. It's because it's either 3 4. It's either 3 3 4 or 3 4 5. 3 3 4. That's 10. That total is 10, and that's even. But 3 4 5. It's also even. Didn't I just say the sum is odd? Oh no. Or wait. 6 7. Yeah, sum is odd, right? How can that be though? If that's 3. Oh, it could be 3 3 5. Oh, I think it has to be. It has to be 3 3 5 because it doesn't just have to be one greater. I think that's the only 3 3 5. That's 11 as a total. That's odd because any other answer would be even. If I did 3 3 4, that's 10, and 3 4 5, that's 12. Making sure I got my math right. Yeah. So 3 3 5. That seems right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as my final answer. 3 3 5. Took me a bit to get there, but I got it without that last question. So 6 questions is what it took me. Is that enough to beat the machine? I don't think so, but we'll see. Maybe. Machine. 3 3 5. Was I correct? I was correct. That makes me feel happy. Even if I don't beat the machine, still makes me feel good that I always got the code right. So I tested A, B, D, and A, B, C. I beat the machine. I tied, but that's still a dub. So that was standard 4 questions. I'm gonna clean this up and then I'm gonna move on to the standard with 5 verifier questions. See if I can get past that kind of nonsense. Such a fun, I really like this game. Like, well, I guess I haven't got to play it too much because I just got it like last week. But yeah, no, I really, really like this game. So I was playing with it, so playing this with some people at Gen Con, which is, I really like. It took me till like the last day I was there to go actually explore the one hotel room, because they have some, for those that don't know, they have like connected hotels to the convention center that they hold this convention at, and a lot of them, or at least there's some designated ones that have like ballrooms that just have tables and chairs that you can play at, to set up to play at. And the rooms are open like 24/7, like they're open all the time. And it's really cool. You can get little cones to set on your table. So if you're looking for people to play with, you can set a cone on your table. Or if you're looking for someone to teach you the game, you can set a cone with a little flag in it. And it's a really cool system. And yeah, so I brought this with me. I sat down at a table and threw a cone up, and within like a couple of minutes, yeah, some people came over and we played a couple games. It was a really good time. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I played the demo of it actually after I got it. I was so hyped to get this. I was like, I don't need to play the demo I knew I was gonna like it. But then after I got it, I was like, well, it would be nice to actually have someone teach me the game that knows the game rather than me just like trying to rely on the rule book or whatnot. So yeah, I went to go demo it, and that was a good time. It was kind of an abbreviated version, but still pretty fun. All that's put away. Custom game, solo, standard. We're going 5 cards this time, not 4. Whew. Look at all those cards. Can you see all those? There's 5 of them. It's about to get a little bit more crazy. So let me get these ones first. Get these all divvied out. So what we got? Triangle compared to... Gotta move these down a little bit. A little bit more. And over. Okay, sorry. So we got triangle compared to 3. It's a classic one we just saw. This one is just if square is even or odd. Okay. C is the number of 4s. Fair enough. What do we got? Number 15 is the largest number. Okay. And then, what is it? 19 is the last one we got over here. Hopefully that fits still kind of on the zoomed in portion. Seems to be, and this is just the sum of triangle and square compared to 6. So, cool. Got those out. I will real quick divvy out these. The actual verifiers. Trying to think what else I can talk about. Yeah, Gen Con. What else? Went by the Dice Tower booth. That was really cool. Big fan of the Dice Tower, so it was really cool going by and getting to see some of the folks there and getting to talk with some of them. Yeah, I saw the live show that they did there, which is really cool. What else? GUI Cube. That's a company that was at Gen Con, and they make like D&D modules, like 5e modules, like all-in-one adventures. And it's this really cool, like, because normally I'm a pretty big fan of Dungeons and Dragons, been getting back into it recently, and normally when you buy like the campaigns by the Wizards of the Coast who makes the game, they come in like these like textbook type like hardbacks. And GUI Cube, what they're doing is doing these like boxed adventures where it comes like 2 spiral bound notebooks. You got like all these cool like character portraits, you got these reward cards, all this really cool stuff. So yeah, I got the first chapter of like their campaign of that, along with the main reason I got that was because it also came with this bonus adventure called like Shadows and Genzicon, which they said started out as like a 1-shot and then it turned into like a 6 or 7-shot. I don't know. They said it's gonna take like 30 hours to get through it, like 20 to 30 hours. So there's a lot of content in that. So I'm really excited to try out both of those. That was the only other main thing I got at Gen Con. Yeah, rambling out of the way. Let me try to think of what I want to do here. So more cards to test now. Usually I have some. The machine takes some more questions to get it, so will I. So I think I have some more room to breathe. But I just want to figure out what I want to test first. Like this one, I could know in one question. So I do want to probably test that right off the bat. I mean, I think A, B, and D. Because number of 4s would be good to know. I don't really need to know that off the bat. Knowing what the highest is would be pretty nice. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. Because that'll test that, and that all in the ways I want to. Yeah, doing a real creative code here to start off this round. 1, 2, and 3. Let me mark that down over here, just so I got everything in place, ready to go. And yeah, I'll get right into this. So let me go ahead and test A first and see how that goes. It failed. So good to know. So that means we know that either triangle equals 3, triangle is greater than 3, equals 3. That's a throwback. Kind of, not really. He's back on YouTube, I feel like. Partially. Good old Ray William Johnson. B also failed, so square is odd. And that's just, yeah, we know that is odd. And then the last one I wanted to test would probably be D, because I want to know what the largest is for anything else. And that's going to take some guessing. Okay. Look at that. Can you see that? That's a check mark. So circle is the largest. I know the largest right off the bat. That's awesome. So D passed. So we know that circle is largest. Perfect. Okay. Round 1 in the bag. Put these away real fast and see if I can do some real quick end of the round deductions. Well, not even, well, there's deductions. I mean, there's things I could cross off. So I know square is odd. So I know it can't be 2 or 4. We know circle's the lowest. So that means it's probably, oh, we don't know that yet. It's probably 1 or 2. But I don't know. Lots of things I don't know. So I still need to figure out number of 4s. Figure out, I'm like pointing to the center here. Number of 4s, I need to know. I need to know what the heck that triangle is. And yeah, the verified sum. So how do I want to test this? I guess I'll do 4. Because I want triangle to be, I think 4, just to see if it's greater than. So I'll go 4, 1. Sorry, I'm really thinking here. I'm thinking of what I want that middle. Because I want the first number to be 4 for my guess to test both of these. I'm trying to think of if there's a good number to test for that. Because I know it has to be 1, 3, or 5. I don't think it's going to be 1. Because circle is the lowest. So I think it has to be 3 or 5. 4. Okay, also, this one, I've been saying it wrong, but I've been thinking it right for some reason. This number doesn't test the smallest, it tests the largest. So circle is the largest. I wrote that down wrong, and that could lead to some very rough times. Right, circle is the largest. Jeez, that would have been a pretty rough screw up. So knowing that circle is the largest, then it's probably, I'll go 4, 4, 3, 5, and yeah, see where that takes me as my next guess. I'm gonna try to not do too many more guesses, but we'll see what I can get from. I at least need to figure out A and test C and I think E. We'll see. We'll see as I start going along. So A, 435, it fails. So triangle is 3. So we write that down over here. 4, oh my goodness, 435. A failed, so we know that triangle is 3. Okay. We also know square is odd. Still don't know the number of 4s. Yeah, I gotta test C and E. I don't think there's any way. Well, you test number of 4s and then see if I have to test this. So there's not just one 4. That means there are no 4s. So that was what, C? C fails. And because of that, we know that there's 0 4s. Okay. I think I gotta know, because at this point I know it's 3 something something. Obviously. No, there's no 4s. But yeah, I don't know. That's the largest. I don't think square. Let me zoom in on my little pad down here. Square, I don't think can be 5. That's just because circle's the largest. Because we know that's equal to that. Yeah, I really. Oh, well, we know. Oh, I haven't tested that at all yet. I don't know anything. I was thinking of the last game. Shoot. I have to test it because I don't know if it's 3 or 1. I think regardless, it's 3 something 5, but that middle number. That middle number I don't know until I test E. Whoops, I just bumped everything. So when we test E, and this will tell all, but it might be too late. So it came back an X. So E failed. Okay, so we know that triangle plus square either equals. Oh, I think I screwed up. Because it's not greater than 6. So it either equals 6 or it's less than 6. Yeah, that's not what I needed to narrow down. It's not good. Because I need another question. I don't know if it's. I have to. There's no other way. The machine's gonna totally beat me, and there's nothing I can do because I don't know what square is. I don't know if it's a 1. I feel like it has to be. Hold on. I think I might. Because here's the thing about this game that's weird. Is how do I know what circle is, right? The only thing I know about circle is that it's not a 4 and it's greater than, it's the largest number. I know triangle is 3 and I know square is odd. So that tells me a couple of things. If square was 1, I would have no way to figure out what circle is. Because even if I were to test E, right? Stay with me, because if I were to test it, if it told me it's equal to, cool, well then I know. If it tells me it's less than, it's just not possible, I don't think, with how this game works. Because if it was less than, if square was 1, I would have no way to figure out, because all I know is circle is greater than, and there's no way to deduce that with these cards. So I think it's 335. I think so. I'm just trying to think it all through, because that's the thing with this game is you have to kind of think in the terms of the game. So there's only one way. There's basically 2 ways I know the circle is. Just I know it's not a 4. No, it's larger than square. Square has to then be 1, 3. If it's 1, I really have no way to deduce what circle is. So I think it has to be 335. Okay. Let's go see. I guess. Moment of truth. If I'm right and if I beat the machine. Always suspenseful. 335. I hope I'm right. Verification. No, it's the first code I got wrong. I was so confident. Man, okay, so this is I at least can demo this now to show what happens. So since I didn't get it, you can just click on solution down here. Click yes. 315. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was thinking I was so right in my deduction. I was pretty close, okay, in my whole line of thinking. But what I didn't consider was that I did need to test this because it's the largest compared to all of them, including that. So even if this was one, which it was, this is still the largest, and we know that based off of that. Dang it. So I did need to test that one, but my assumption was wrong that I came to. I was close though. One number off. That's pretty close. So yeah, that was a loss. But that's okay. That's the first time I didn't guess the code, but I was pretty close. So let me put these all away real quick, and then I will set up the next one. Gonna keep the stream a little bit shorter. I'll probably, after I put this all away, take a quick break to just stretch and fill up my water bottle and whatnot. But I don't anticipate going later than like 2.5 hours. But we'll see how bad I'm doing if I keep losing. But no, I like this game a lot, so I don't mind playing it for a little bit here. And also, this game's like not even out yet. I think they said it releases to the masses in like November, so it's going to be a while before it actually gets to like the mass market. So it's pretty cool having my hands on a semi-exclusive game. So I figured, of course, I wanted to show it off a bit for people who like weren't at Gen Con, couldn't get a copy yet, and just so they can see what it's all about. This is a pretty neat game, if I say so. Let me put these all away real fast. 376. It's just crazy. When I look at these cards, like it's just crazy how this game works. Like you just put numbers together and it just somehow knows on these cards where to look. Like that's pretty cool. And just the fact that they have the site, which can generate just pretty much infinite problems, is also really neat. So yes, I'm a very big fan of this game so far. Yeah. Okay, that was that one put away. So I am going to take a really quick break to fill up my water bottle, stretch my legs. I recommend you all do the same, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Hello everybody, I am back and gonna get set up here with another round of Turing Machine. Going to be attempting standard mode again. I'm gonna be doing the custom game doing the 5 cards since I already beat the 4 cards. Getting my new set of questions, and I'm just gonna start putting this thing together. Put that one there. So what do we got? That one is the square compared to 3. We got card B is if the purple is even. Let's see. This one is just the sum of all the numbers if it's odd or even. Going to have this one. The sum of triangle and square compared to 6. And then 18 and 9, or 22. If the 3 numbers, if they're in ascending, descending, or if they have no order. So those are all the verifier codes. And we go ahead and get this part all situated. Let's put that one out. Where the heck? That one. That one there. 770. And I know this is super exciting to watch. And one more with 536. Boom. Okay. So, new round, new code, new me. So yeah, I already kind of went through what all the verifiers were. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. So I definitely want to test what 3 ones first. Probably these 2 for last. Probably these 3, A, B, and E. So I want to probably test 2, 2. No, I'll go 2. Purple's the last one. So 1, 2, just do 1, 2, 3 maybe. It's a classic opener. And I'll test A, B, and E in some way that's helpful. So yeah, I'll go with 1, 2, 3. Keeping it simple, nothing too fancy, but hopefully get some good info from these verifiers here. So I'll get these a little bit more lined up. So let's go test A. And A gives us a nice X. I guess I kind of zoomed out there. Yeah, it's a nice X. So A failed. So we know it's not less than 3. So 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm writing stuff down over here. So A failed. So we know that square either equals 3 or square is greater than, oops, I don't know why I wrote 6, 3. 6, I don't even think is a number in this game. So everything only goes up to 5. Oh, I guess it is on these cards, but so we know it's not less than, so I can go ahead and at least mark off those. Okay. It's good info to know. I wish it would have been a check mark. It would have gave me a bit more to go off of. Test B also fails. So we know that purple, the circle, is even. So B fails. So we know circle is even. So if it's even, we can go ahead and cross off those. Cool. This is a pretty good starting code, I would say. And then finally, I wanted to test E to see if the numbers are in descending or ascending order, which they are not. So they're either in descending order or they have no order. Make a quick note of that. So descending or no order. Gosh. Yeah, normally this is a bit easier to look at. So let me put these back real quick and see if I can figure anything cool out from what I got so far. Probably not, but we'll see what I can get. So yeah, we know that square is at least, we know it's not less than 3, so I can mark off 2 and 1. And we know that circle is even, so we got just 2 or 4 left. So it's either in descending order, or there's, so it could be 5, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2. Lots of options. I'm just trying to think of the best way to go about it. Because I'm gonna have to test D and C at some point. But I need to know A first. So what do I want to test next round? Because I don't want to do too many. I don't want to go another round if I don't have to. I think I'm gonna go A. I think I need to know C. I need to know A. I probably need to know C. And if it comes down to D or E, probably E. But I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'll kind of feel it out. I feel like I got a lot to go off of that first round. So... So I should do like something 4-2, 3-4-2. Should I do test no order? If I test something, or should I test 5-3-2? I don't know how many odds there are. I don't know the total. Yeah, I'll test 5-3-2. That'll be my number. Let's just send it and see what happens. So 5, 3, and a 2. So that's going to be the code. No, wait, this is not the code I want to do. I want to do 5-4-2. Because I want to test if, for this one, I want to test if it's greater than, just because there's a better chance. If I want to ask questions, you know, I want to get the best answers, and then these are in descending order. So if I do test E, which I think I'm going to have to, depending on A and C's results, then I can see if it's descending order or no order. So let's just get the test on the way. So A fails. So square is equal to 3. This is known. What is it? 542. 42. A fails. So we know that, yeah, this is equal to 3. Okay. I definitely need to know the order. What is this? That's going to give me... But even if I knew the order, it's either descending or no order. If it was descending, I still wouldn't know it. I'm going to have to test, I think, both of these. I'm trying to, obviously, it's the point of the game, to do the least amount of tests as possible here. I'm really avoiding doing both of these, but I think I have to. So let's go E. E fails. So there is no order to these numbers. They're not ascending or descending. So that's something. No order, complete chaos. So if there's no order, then I definitely need to test C. And that means I also probably have to test D. Or I can maybe not. Well, let me think this through. Because right now, if I did that, if I did 3 and 4, it'd be 1 or 2, I wouldn't know. I'm just trying to debate. I'm going to have to do another test this round. So I'm trying to figure out if test C or D would be better, whether knowing if the total is odd or even, or what the sum of square and triangle is. Because that will determine kind of a lot, because how this is all set up, because we know that square is 3. That's a given. And because there's no order, it kind of sucks, because I can't really eliminate anything. Knowing if it's odd or even will be helpful, but I feel like the other one might be more helpful. Because if I knew it was less than, but I still wouldn't know. I would need to know both. I would need to know this one. So, okay. I'm going to test this one. I'm going to test C. We'll see how this lands, and then see if I can make a prediction. It passed. So what is my total right now? 11. So we know that the total is odd. Right? 9, 11. Yeah. Okay. So was that C passed? Sum is odd. Okay, so that's all I can test with these guys this round. And I'm already at 6 questions. I really don't want to have to go another round. So let's see if I can figure it out from here. Okay. So the sum is odd. So that's 5, and that would get me 7. So then I think regardless of those, it's going to be even, right? It has to be. Because the total is odd. Both of these regardless are odd. I need to keep the total odd, so it has to be even. I think that tracks, right? So that's 5, add 2, 7. So I think I'm safe to mark off 1, 3, and 5. I more or less have a 50-50 shot. It's either 4, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 2. What does that add to? I think these should all 4, 7, and that's 8, 11. They're both odd, so that checks out. Just bump my table. Gosh, it's a 50-50 shot. I could ask another question, but then that's just one more question. I don't think at this point I'm gonna get it. I'm already at 6. There's nothing else I know. I know the circle's even. Square's that. There's no order, so it can't be like ascending or descending. So it's gonna be this weird bouncy. So it's either, it has to be 4, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 2. Anybody watching live, if you want to throw a guess in the chat, or like if you have a suggestion on which one of those two I should take, I really don't want to do another round. So I think it's either going to be 4, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 2. Yeah, if I were to ask this, then I would know. If I were to ask question D, I could figure it out, and then I would know, but then I'd be at 7 questions. And I already think I'm at 6, which I'm already thinking is going to be too much. So I'd really like to not ask another question. So yeah, anybody watching live, if you want to throw your guess in the chat, yeah, either 4, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 2. I don't know. It really, for me, it seems like a 50-50 result. I'll give anybody watching a second if they're gonna throw their result in, but I don't know which one's the largest. Okay, it's a gamble. Okay, well, I think I'm just going to go with 2, 3, 2. So I go machine. We'll see. It's a 50-50 shot. It was right. Wow. Okay. So let me see. A, B, E, and then A, C, E. Right? I had 6 guesses total. I don't think that's going to be enough to beat it, even though I guessed correctly at the end there. I beat it. It asked 7 questions. I could have asked my other question, and I still would have beat it. But hey, I took a 50-50 shot. Got it right. That's a win. Wow. This game, it's something. It's fun. That's what I'll say it is. It's a good time. So yeah, I'm gonna tear this down, and I'll move on to the last, I guess, the last part of standard, which was gonna be all of the verifier questions, and that's gonna be something. So let me put these away and get that next round started here in a second. Of course, now with adding more cards and whatnot, it's gonna take just ever so slightly more longer to get this all set up and tear down, but we'll get through it. So, should get these in order just so it's real nice and easy to put it away. Something like that. Okay. There's that one, and where's the last one? Went right by it. There we go. Okay. Next round. I also like they added this on the site at the top here, which I assume if I were to copy and paste, it's going to look almost like Wordle, like where you have like the squares going across, and yeah, that's pretty neat. I'll go with this custom game. So now I'm doing the solo standard 6 cards. Look at all those cards. I'll set that right here, actually, just so I can see it a little bit better. All right. There's gonna be some more to set up here. So let's go through the cards. Card A is verifying if the circle is odd or even. Card B is verifying the number of 4s in the final code. Card C is seeing the smallest number. Card D is how many even numbers are in the code. All right. Card E, what do we got? If it verifies if a number repeats itself in the code. And then card F. Hey, it's the order of the digits. So if they're ascending, descending, or if there's just no order. So let me scoot these down just a hair. Something like that. That should work. Grab a quick sip of water here. All right, now I got to set all this up. That one goes there. This one there. 16. Yeah, I'm sorry, this takes a hot second to do, but it's just the way it is. I guess I could try to like prepare some of these, but a lot of them overlap, and it's just I don't think would be really practical. You just have to sit in here and wait while I get it all figured out. Okay. So yeah, I already kind of briefly explained what each verifier was for this round. So yeah. See, it's weird. I almost feel like these two, there's no need for. There might be a need for it. This would probably narrow out down something else. This is the smallest. I want to test A. Oof. I want to test A, C, and probably E first, because A, just knowing if it's odd or even, it eliminates like half the options. So that's always just a good thing to know. This, knowing the smallest, is going to take me a couple rounds to try to figure that one out. So I want to do that first round. And then, do we have any even numbers? It would be good. The order would be good. But I think knowing if a number repeats itself is going to be pretty key. But what number? So I'll do 1, 2, 2 as my starting code. So I have, this would be even. There would be a smallest, and then I could test if there's a double number. And I think that would put me in a pretty good starting spot. So I will do that as my starting code. I will do 1, 2, and a 2. So first I will do test A. Get this a little bit more zoomed in there. There we go. So test A fails. So 1, 2, 2, test A fails. I go over here. 1, 2, 2, A fails. So we know that circle is odd. Sorry. So we know it's odd, so I can cross that off and that off. All right, we're already we're on our way. So next, what did I say? I wanted to test the smallest. That's going to be good to know. Ooh, that's a check mark. So triangle is the smallest. That is really good to know right off the bat. So that was what I'm going. Sorry, I'm back over here. So C passed. And so we know that triangle is smallest. Once again, sorry for my handwriting. I'm using dry erase marker, so it's a little bit worse than normal. And then I want to test E to see if there's any repeating numbers. So there's no doubles. So that means there could be a triple or there's no repetition. Huh. Okay, so E, back over here. E failed. So we know that there's either triple 3 of a number or no repeat, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a lot of space to write stuff, but you get the gist. So I'll put these back and think a little bit. Okay. So if circle is odd, we know that. And we know that triangle is the smallest. I feel like we can safely rule out, since we know that there's no doubles. They all could be, the code just could be 1, 1, 1, I think. And that would still be valid. Because we don't know the order. We don't know how many evens. We don't know if there's numbers that repeat themselves. I mean, I can't make too many deductions off this just to start, but I'm really just trying to think what I can say. Or I guess what my next code would be. I mean, I want to figure out, I already figured out, you know, A and C, which is awesome. Those are just done. B, like I said, I don't think I'll really test because E more or less tests that for us. So I think I'm going to probably test D, E, F this next round to try to get something going that I can figure out. So number of even numbers, we don't know. I don't think it can't be 3. We know it's not 3 because circle has to be odd. So with D, it's either 0, 1, or 2 even numbers. D, 0, 1, or 2 even numbers. Something like that. We also know it can't be 3 even numbers because we know that... Oh, never mind. Doesn't count. I was going to say something, and it was going to be wrong, so I'll just shut up. So there's either no repeating or... I mean, I have to do another round. Would be good to know if there's no repetition. I feel like there almost has to be no repetition. Because if this was This is gonna say there's no repetition because these two would be kind of redundant. This is weird. Because I almost feel like I don't even need to test E again because I feel like there just can't be there can't be three of the same numbers. Okay, there still could. I really need to test F to know for sure. That will be more telling than anything else. D, kind of, but F mainly. So what do I want to test? Something where triangle is the smallest. We have ideally 0 even numbers. I'm gonna go with no order. Should I test no order? I feel like no order is the weirdest. Maybe like 1, 5, 3. And then test D and F. Let's go for it. So 153. Got it. So then I will test F. Okay, F passed, so there is no order. So let me write that down real quick over here. F passed, so we know there's no order. It's just absolute chaos. Then, see, I really feel like I don't know if I'm wrong in assuming this. I don't think I need to test E. I'm gonna test D and then see if, oh, I guess I'll wait. Let's see what I can figure out from this. So D comes back a fail. So there is some even numbers. So D failed. So we know there's some even numbers. There's no order. I think also with that, we know for certain that E, I don't need to test E because there can't be 3 of the same number. Because we know there's at least, with that last one, we know there's at least 1 or 2 evens. Yeah, so there's no 3s. It's just no repeat. If there's no order, no repeat, triangle is the smallest. Okay. Now I think I might see how I'm gonna need B. Because I don't know I don't. Let me zoom out here. There we go. What am I even trying to think? I'm just trying to think right now. So there's no order. I don't know much about square or triangle at the moment, besides that just triangle is the smallest. I know that. I kind of want to test B to get an idea of how many 4s there are. If there are any 4s, if there's 0 4s, that would tell me something. Wait, I don't need to. I don't need to do that. Well, actually, I might. Yeah, I do. Because I think there's only 1 4, but no, that wouldn't tell me then. Because if I were to test this, it can't be 3. Could be 0. I think I need to know how many 4s there are to continue. There has to be at least 1. I think. Let's see. I don't know. Let me just test the code I have against this and see what comes back. Really? Okay, it came back a check mark, so that means there are no 4s. Huh. Okay, well this, was that B? Came back a check mark. So there's 0 4s. So, okay, I need to start figuring this out, like, now. Okay. So we know there's no order. There are no 4s. We know that there's 1 or 2 even numbers, but I can tell you now that there's only one because we know from hint E that there's no double numbers. And with 4 being eliminated, that leaves only 2. So we know there's only one even number, and it's a 2. We know there's no order, and we know that triangle is the smallest. How am I supposed to figure this out? Like even, okay. Triangle is the smallest. There's no 4s. And there is an even number. Okay. It's just 1, 2, 1. No, it can't be. Shoot. Did I screw up? Oh no. Okay, hold on. Maybe I didn't. If I go 2, 5, 3. 2, 5, 3. Because, okay, there has to be one even number, and exactly one. There has to be no order. And triangle has to be the smallest. Two, 5, 3. What if I go 5, 2, 3? I think that also works. That's not good. We know there's no 4s. There's one even number. Sorry, I'm really thinking this through. I don't want to... Even if I were to ask more questions, I know the answer to everything, at least that's out there. I just have to piece it together. Like, I think I have all the info I could get from these verifiers. I just need to piece it together at this point. So, okay. So triangle is the smallest. We know there's an even number. So if it was 2, it couldn't be 1, 2, 3, 3. It can't be that. So I think square has to be 2. Trying. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because there can't be double numbers. There's only so many numbers I have. It feels like with the rules I have given, I almost feel like I mistested something. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I misdeduced something. I don't think I did. We know there's no repeats. There's no doubles. There's no triple numbers. There's no order. And that triangle is the smallest. Boy, oh boy. This is quite the predicament. Because if this is the smallest, two, 5, 3, where would that not work? 2, 5, 3, that breaks some rule, I feel like. What is 2, 5, 3. There's no order with that. No repeating. 1 even. No fours. 2, 5, 3. Is that it? Because there has to be a 2, right? And triangle has to be the smallest. We know there's 1 even number and no fours. And I can't go like 1, 2, 1. There's no repeating, and triangle has to be the smallest. Can't go 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 5 because that'd be ascending. 2, 1, 3. Because then triangle wouldn't be the smallest with that one. So 2, 5, 3. I think that's it. Let me write it up here and give it one more quick think through before I submit my answer. Man, this marker is dying on me. There we go. 253. So would 253, that's odd. There's no fours. 253, triangle is the smallest. There's 1 even number. No repetition. No order. I think that's as good as my guess is gonna get. Because like I said, even with asking more questions, I don't think I could get more info. So I think this has to be it. I don't want to say has to be because then I'm gonna be wrong, but unless I deduce something wrong. There we go. Okay, so now I got A, C, and E. And then at around, I went B, D, and F. I tested each only once, 2 rounds, and I got the code. Was it enough to beat the machine? I think it might be. Oh, it got it in 4 questions? Ah, man, I was so proud. I got it in 6, and it got it in 4. Dang. That's a shame. I got the code right at least. I didn't mess that part up this time. 253 was the correct code. But I was not quick enough. There was no way, at least with what I guessed, that I could have deduced that quicker. There probably were some parts I could have pieced together if I was better at this game. But yeah, no, that was a tricky one. That was fun. That was pretty close. I felt like I wasn't sure how close I was going to get with this, all the verifiers out, but that was relatively close, I'd say. So let me pack this away, and I will set up at least another round. We'll do at least one more. I'd like to try to beat advanced with all the verifiers, but we'll see how far I can get. Don't want the stream going crazy too long. Yeah. Put that away and bada boom. Okay. And let me put these in order. Okay. Yeah, I'm not the quickest at this. Whoops, I definitely skipped something. Okay, there's that one, there's that one. Once again, I know this probably isn't the most exciting thing to watch. Just you have to bear with me here as I put these all away. All right. Because I don't want to put them in the wrong order because then it's going to take even longer to set up next time. So just don't even want to go there. Yeah, do another custom game, solo. Okay, there we go. Standard, and we'll do 6-card verifier again, and click generate. There we go. My new cards to guess. Let's see what I get this round. Oh, we got card number 1. I haven't used that one in a while. I don't think I've ever used this one. If it's just it's the triangle related to 1, and if it's just equal to or greater than. I don't know if I've ever used that card before. Maybe I have. Played a good handful of these games, but okay. So the square, is it even or odd? Who knows? That verifier knows, but I don't. The smallest number. Whoops, I'm just bumping stuff here. What do we got? The number of even numbers. Number 19 is triangle and square. There's some compared to 6. And then lastly, the order one again as our F. So that's something. And now let me take the time to get this all out. What else could I talk about? I do plan on starting back up the series I was doing. Took a quick little break from YouTube for a hot bit there, but yeah, I'm back now and plan on starting to re-upload here starting this week. I'll probably was doing 2 different series. I was doing the Suburbia series where I was playing through all the different tile sets, and then I was also playing Hadrian's Wall. I totally lost track of where I was. 541. So yeah, I plan on continuing both of those series. One of them will be uploaded later this week, hopefully. And then, yeah, I'll just probably start uploading both of those on a weekly basis again. Because, yeah, I just want to get kind of back into it, start doing these streams on Sundays again. And, yeah, 487. Oh, I see it sticking out there. So, yeah, if you enjoyed either of those series, if there's one you like better than the other, let me know. Like I said, I plan on continuing both, and then after that, who knows what I'll do. I have a couple ideas in mind, but yeah, I definitely want to finish that Hadrian's Wall series. Try to get through all those forts because they were pretty fun and challenging, and then yeah, also the Suburbia tile sets. So I really like Suburbia. It's a pretty fun, city building game. So yeah, definitely want to try that and get through those here in the near future. So, looking at this, what do I want to test? A, B, and I guess C. Those are the ones I really want to know more urgently than anything else. So I'll go 2, 3, 4 as my starting code. Test some stuff out. Yeah. So let's test A, B, and C and see. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. So A fails. So triangle is equal to 1. That's something. So a 2, 3, 4, and A fails. So we know triangle equals 1. That's kind of a weird one. That's just tells you the number pretty much straight up. I'm not complaining too much, but it's just odd. This one passes, so we know that square is odd. Good to know, good to know. So B square is odd. So I can cross off 2 and 4 with that. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a lot of info right off the bat. This is pretty nice. And then which one's the smallest? Will this be able to tell us? Wow, really? Okay. Yeah, so triangle is, well, I guess if it's 1, yeah, it's gonna be the smallest. That's kind of something I didn't need to test. Yeah, I feel like kind of an idiot now. Maybe I shouldn't have been so eager to jump on that one, but I tested it, so. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have. Whatever. Well, now we know that triangle is just smaller than the smallest. I wrote that weird on my pad over here. But, so we know a couple things. We know that triangle is for certain 1. And we know that square is odd. And the rest is a mystery. So I think we're gonna have some, these next questions are gonna be crucial. Absolutely crucial. I mean, more than anything else, I gotta know, you can't even see the verifier with how I have it. I gotta zoom out a little bit, there's so many. Is this one up here, the order of the numbers. I need to know that because I know one, so that would help me out a lot. It's probably gonna be no order and it's gonna be useless, but I mean, even if it's no order, that's still helpful. So I wanna test that. I already know these three, don't I? Jeez. Yeah, I guess I want to test that F and D and possibly E. I don't really think I want to test that. I might go 1, 3, 5 for the order. Maybe 1, 3, 4. And then test the number of even numbers. Yeah. Okay. So 134 is my new code to test for round 2. First thing I want to test is the order. Dying to know. What is, oh my goodness. The order, it's not ascending. So that means there's no order. So what is this? 134 is my code. And I just tested F and that failed. So there is no order. None. Once again, absolute chaos. I could, it can't be descending because it just can't. I guess it could be 1, 1, 1. I don't think it is though. Because I don't, yeah, it's. So I do want to know then the number of even numbers. This will be good to know. Whoops. There's a check mark. So there is an even number. So D passed. So we know there's one even number, which I could have taken a good assumption there was going to be, but I mean, that means that circle is not odd because it has to be even. So then that leaves us with some options here. So we know there's no order, so it could be a lot of things, unfortunately. 1, 3, 2, 1, 5, 2. 1, 3, 2, 1, 5, 2. Is that it? It could just be 1, 3, 2 or 1, 5, 2. I don't. 1, 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, or it could be 1, 5, 4. Now, how am I? Hold on. Because the question is, how do I figure out circle, right? I mean, I think we can safely rule out, I don't think square can be 1. That's the thing that I still don't fully know about this game, but I'm pretty sure, like, if the code was like 1, 1, 3, like, triangle is technically the smallest, but so is square. The verifier doesn't know that, but I don't think that can happen. I don't know. This is 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, 2, or 1, 3, 2. I think those are like the 3 codes it could be. Oh, okay. See, this is, I think I figured it out because you got to play the game. I'm talking all cocky. So it could be 1, 5, 4 or 1, 5, 2. And because it's ambiguous, then it can't be either. It can't be that. 5 can't be the middle number then. And it has to be 132. Yeah. I think that checks out. 132. But if I were to do 5, then we know there's no order. So then it could be 152 or 154. And since I don't know, none of these cards would tell me. And that's the issue. Is knowing what circle is. And I think since I don't know, it has to be 132. We'll see. I would like to beat the advanced mode, but we'll see if I can. Okay, let's see if my deductions were correct or not. 132. I mean, I think this has to be right. Thank you, thank you. And I only did that in 5. Because I didn't need that last clue. I didn't need E. Which is weird. Well, it was because I had some good guesses earlier that I didn't really need E. Let's see if I beat the machine. I feel like 5. I mean, come on. Yeah. It got it in 4. Oh, man. That's a shame. I felt proud of that, man. And it still beat me. Well, that's all right. That was a fun one. Beat me by 1 question. Gosh dang it. That was a fun one though. This game is challenging. It really makes you think. I just really like the deduction style. It almost, someone kind of compared it to like almost like it's like Wordle kind of stylish. That's like a deduction game. You got games like Sudoku. Yeah, and those are like, kind of deduction, like, oh, this number goes here, so this can't go here. That's kind of like a vibe I get from this game. I know the company that makes this also makes Decrypto, which is another pretty popular deduction-based party game, and I've heard many, many good things about it. Unfortunately, I've never played it myself, but this is a really fun game. I like this a lot. I like that it can be played competitively, and even when you play it competitively, like the rulebooks I think has like there's some extra modes. Let me grab the rulebook real quick. There's some extra modes that you can play. Like there's like variations. There's like 2 I like that they have a handicap mode, which is super nice. So if you're like playing with some newbies, you could just basically mark off some like initial questions for yourself to kind of just give yourself a handicap. Pretty easy to implement, and it's just nice that it has a system for that. There's also, I don't even know where it's at. Oh, over here. Yeah, there's an extreme mode and there's a nightmare mode. I haven't tried either of these because obviously, as you could tell, still not the best at this game, but I'm slowly picking it up. And I think a lot of it comes from you just kind of have to know the rules of the game. And yeah, knowing that like with that last one, like I had 3 options, but one of them was going to leave circle. I wouldn't be able to figure it out. So there's no way it could be either of those 2 options because with the cards given, there's no way for me to narrow it down. And knowing that is what was able to get me to that, even though it wasn't a win. But yeah, no, I really, really like this game a lot. Really glad I got to pick it up early. I like the site. They seem to be updating it. They just updated over the weekend. I was playing this on Friday, and the solo mode part did not look like it currently does. You would just enter the number of rounds you've completed and the number of questions you've done, and then it would just tell you if you won. But this time it's kind of like a 2-step process. You enter the code, you see if you got it right, and then you kind of click the boxes for the rounds, which is a fine way to do it. And yeah, I'm just glad they're still working on the site. But yeah, I like this game a lot. I'm really glad I picked it up. So I'm looking forward to getting a lot more plays out of it. Hopefully I'll get better at it over time. And yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this stream, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more of my content, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be starting to upload and live stream again, so definitely subscribe if you want to catch any more of that. And yeah, leave a like and a comment. Let me know if you have tried this game, if this game interests you. I'm curious to see what people's thoughts are, because I didn't even know there was a solo mode going into when I bought it until I had the game like in my hand. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that it plays, pretty much the same as it does when you play against people. So that's really nice. And yeah, I think it's just a great little game. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.